Fueled by Ramen was founded by John Janik and Vinnie Fiorello in 1995, when Janik was only a freshman at the University of Florida, Gainesville. Conceptualizing the record label since high school as an outlet for underground punk rock music, Janik had two main strategies: work hard and keep costs down. Currently, Fueled by Ramen is celebrating their 15th year in business. Where many record labels are struggling, Fueled by Ramen continues to sign and succeed with new artists. Some changes in leadership have occurred during the time, though, primarily with Vinnie Fiorello, the co-founder, and of course also the drummer for Less Than Jake. Both founders had a strong theory of the do-it-yourself concept that kept costs down and bands working hard. Vinnie departed from Fueled by Ramen in 2005 to fulfill his own endeavor. Fiorello continues with the same ideas in his new record label, Paper and Plastic, which focuses on combining the elements of art and music by producing more tangible products like vinyl albums that feature artwork. Fiorello believes the industry will soon be completely a band-based business and is focusing on getting bands into the niche market that is growing around vinyl releases. Fiorello mastered the art of timing, as Robert Greene describes in his book. Fiorello's passion is in vinyl. He just had to wait for the rest of the world to want it, and he timed it perfectly. Fall Out Boy bassist Pete Wentz was also once a big part of Fueled by Ramen. After his band, Fall Out Boy, signed their initial label deal with Fueled by Ramen, he partnered with Janik to found Decadence Records, which essentially brought new bands to the table, such as Gym Class Heroes and The Academy Is. Most leaders would have a hard time delegating the exciting role of recruiting bands to another, but Janik realized the effectiveness Wentz would play in that role, and gladly handed over the reins. It paid off by producing some of the most successful bands on Fueled by Ramen's roster. One such band was Panic at the Disco, who tested Janik's business practices of keeping costs down and spending money on priorities that pay off the most. Using the Pareto principle, Janik's priorities are to keep costs minimal. So when Panic at the Disco wanted to spend just $500 more to include a cello in the debut album, Janik refused. His top 20% of priorities are getting the band on tour and exposing their music through blogging, appearances, and social media marketing. Adding a cello track fell into his bottom 80% because it would not produce as successfully as putting the money into touring. The Pareto principle not only incorporates the spending of money, but also time and effort. As soon as Janik signs a band, he lets the band know what they need to make a priority. Blog often, tour hard, and keep expenses down. Essentially, he wants the band to dedicate their time influencing fans without spending money. Cutting costs is one of the main reasons Fueled by Ramen is so successful. If there is not a high enough return on an expense, then Janik avoids it. Marketing is one of those costs that gets cut, at least the mainstream idea of marketing. Fueled by Ramen markets within, so to speak. A band that has recognition goes on tour with a baby band, and they market and promote each other. Beyond promoting each other, Janik influenced the bands to abide by Robert Greene's Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. Janik does not want to see his artists being closed off. He wants them blogging about their lives, uploading YouTube videos of their tour, and tweeting about themselves. The connection the band makes with the fans has a huge influence on ticket and album sales. Well worth the hours put in. John Janik's leadership style could be considered results-based, but looking closer into how each band member and employee works together to get the job done, it is more fittingly a relationship leadership style, as explained in the podcast Leadership Development Practices. There are several qualities that make up an effective relationship leader. Self-awareness, knowing your strengths and weaknesses. Janik knows he is great at promoting bands on a small budget. He knows he can easily influence others with his behavior, so he makes sure to practice what he preaches. The second trait is being able to delegate important tasks and decisions. Pete once showed he could bring great bands to the label. Janik knew the benefits of giving Wentz that power and was eager to delegate that role to him. The last traits are good interpersonal skills, participative management practices, and the ability to give and receive feedback, all of which Janik has portrayed at one point in his career. On the 5 levels of leadership scale displayed in Maxwell's book, Janek has clearly earned his way to level 4. And in fact, he has always been in some way in this people development stage. Maxwell describes the stage as reproduction. People follow because of what you have done for them. Janek and his team have literally made people's dreams come true and changed lives. As a leader, he influenced them to work hard, offered his leadership skills and knowledge to propel, and now they follow him because they know what he can do and will continue doing. Fueled by Ramen's dedication to cost-cutting and strategies promoting bands has influenced the whole music industry. More and more large labels are looking at Janek's business concepts and adapting to them. For good reason. Fueled by Ramen's 360 deals, which cover everything from album production to concert tours, produces revenue from just about everything a band does. The label has sold more than 10 million albums since 2003, and some sources say it has an annual revenue in excess of 30 million. Fueled by Ramen has always been an innovative record label, led essentially by John Janek, but powered by an evolving team of passionate followers. Janek has made the Forbes 40 Under 40 list and is talked about in countless business magazines because he knows how to work as a team and influence every member of that team. Fueled by Ramen and John Janek will continue changing the music industry for the better for several years to come.